Oh boy, do we have some news on the P. Diddy front. So as you all know, he was already in quite a bit of hot water, but it just got a hell of a lot worse for him. So this is in TMZ. They say, indicted on sex trafficking, racketeering, and kidnapping charges. All right, let me give you some more of the specifics before I break it down further for you. Sean Diddy Combs is now a criminal defendant in a sex trafficking, racketeering, and kidnapping case after a grand jury indicted him. This, according to official documents. Diddy has been charged with 3 counts: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. According to the indictment from 2008 to present, members of the Combs enterprise allegedly engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor. There's another word for that, y'all. It's called slavery. Interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, coercion and enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotics offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. So basically, they're throwing the whole book at this dude, bro. He committed like every crime A to Z. Like, what are we talking about here? According to the indictment, the purpose of the Combs enterprise was to operate a global business in the media, entertainment, and lifestyle industries. The purpose also includes preserving Diddy's power and fulfilling his personal desires, especially in relation to his sexual gratification, including through the exploitation of women and the use of commercial sex workers. The indictment mentions the now famous freak-off parties. Somebody pointed this out on Twitter. They said, bro, the term freak-off is in like an official indictment from the feds. That is wild. Calling them, quote, elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded. Now, look, let me just say up front, because I've seen some of the reaction to this, and believe it or not, I stumbled across some people who are kind of like defending Diddy, saying this is a very vague indictment, there aren't many specifics, et cetera, et cetera. If the freak-off parties were all consensual, there's not a problem. Like, I'm sure plenty of people have had their equivalent of a freak-off party every now and then. I'm sure they're having massive orgies in Congress, as Madison Cawthorn told us, right? Like, I'm sure there are instances of consensual stuff like that. But that's not what we're talking about here. That is not what we're talking about. And remember, the tape that came out where Diddy was beating Cassie's ass is a good indication of the kind of guy he is. Right? That's not a dude who cares much about, is this consensual? Is this on the up and up? I mean, he was committing assault against a helpless woman in front of hotel hallway cameras, right? So anyway, let's continue. The indictment alleges Combs lured women into his orbit under the pretense of a romantic relationship and then used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victim to engage in extended sex acts with male commercial sex workers. After the freak-offs, Combs and the victims typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. The indictment does not include details on the kidnapping allegations other than they occurred in California, as did arson and bribery. As for the drug charges, they allegedly involved the intent to distribute narcotics, including cocaine, oxycodone, Xanax, GHB, which is the date rape drug. Red flag and a half there, bro. MDMA and ketamine. The indictment references what was seized during the raids at Diddy's homes in Beverly Hills and Miami, various freak-off supplies, including narcotics, and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Good gracious. 1,000 bottles of baby oil? This might be the freakiest man on the planet. They also seized firearms, including 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers and a drum magazine. Guys, he's beyond the sloppiest dude of all time. Like, so on top of all these other things, you got gun charges. You're going to have gun charges too. And by the way, why do you have AR-15s with a drum magazine? There was an article that came out not that long ago. This isn't me speaking. This is the article. I don't remember if we covered it or not, but I certainly remember reading it, where it's sort of like a detailed breakdown at Diddy. And one of the accusations is he was the dude who got Tupac killed. That's what the article said. It wasn't me. It was this article that was breaking down all the backstory to it. Remember, when Eminem was having a rap beef with Machine Gun Kelly, there was a line towards the end of it where he says, Diddy's the one that put the hit out that got Pac killed. It seems like, these are the whispers on the street. These are the whispers on the street. And I don't know if that's part of this. It doesn't seem like the murder of Tupac is part of this, but I mean, shit. There are so many charges here. It's unbelievable. By the way, this is the video from in 2016. Diddy assaulted his then girlfriend Cassie in an altercation in the hallway of a hotel, and it's all recorded. Like, you can see it all. You can see it all. There's no like plausible deniability. We already saw what you're capable of on that tape. So now it's going to ring kind of hollow when you try to come out and say, no, these charges are not correct. Really? Well, look at what you did to Cassie. There's more. Prosecutors say in late 2023, following public allegations of the crimes, Combs and his associates would pressure victims and witnesses, including through attempted bribery, to stay silent. Tuesday morning, Diddy's son, King, and Justin were in Lower Manhattan outside federal court awaiting their father's appearance before a judge. Fun fact, his son, Justin, used to live across the street from me. He lived with Diddy's baby mother, and I think she was like a hairdresser or something like that for the Stars. He grew up across the street from me. I probably have seen him a grand total of like 2 times, even though he lived across the street from me. I'm significantly older than Justin. It's not like he was like around my age group. I don't think, at least. I don't think. All right. Anyway, where were we? His lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, said going to court, he will, quote, fight like hell to get his client released on bail. Agnifilo said his client is not only not guilty, but outright innocent. Diddy will appear before a judge Tuesday morning where the charges will be read. TMZ broke the story. Diddy was arrested Monday night at the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan, where he had been staying. Law enforcement sources told TMZ the arrest was supposed to go down Tuesday, but something happened to accelerate it. So was he potentially a flight risk? Did they have information that he was about to dip skis and go to some foreign nation that doesn't have an extradition treaty with the U.S.? I don't know. And then, by the way, Homeland Security is involved in this case. Isn't that wild? Homeland Security is involved in this case. And you have some, victims who have come out and made comments, or Aubrey O'Day lady. Diddy's lawyer told TMZ, Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist, blah, 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 blah. He was chatting it up with the fans outside the hotel right before he was arrested. He's been in New York City for several days. He was in Central Park the other day. Anyway, man. Now, here's the part of the story which is potentially a colossal deal, right? How much dirt does he have on other very famous insiders? How much dirt does he have on other executives in the industry? Actors, other singers, music producers, right? If he has these giant freak-off parties and he knows anybody and everybody in the industry, what sort of stuff does he have on video of these other Hollywood celebrities and music stars, etc.? By the way, the same day this came out, there was like a list of people who are sort of in the same sphere as Diddy who like resigned their positions from various places, right? I wonder if there's some more going on behind the scenes. Look, the best way to describe what we're learning here is Diddy was the Jeffrey Epstein of the music industry. You might even be able to go as far as to say Jeffrey Epstein of Hollywood. You might even be able to go that far. So he's probably got a lot of dirt. And then the other question is, we all saw what happened to Jeffrey Epstein. They say he killed himself, but of course, he was the CEO of Elite Sex Crimes Incorporated, so who knows if he actually killed himself. Remember the video camera in the hallway stopped working, and they say, oh yeah, he killed himself. Really, bro? The video camera in the hallway stopped working, and the guards weren't there? Really, bro? Really? So I think the general consensus is, of course, Epstein didn't kill himself. Somebody killed him. Somebody with a lot of money and a lot of power who had a lot to lose because Jeffrey Epstein had the dirt on so many people. Is Diddy's life in danger now? Is his life in danger? Because he knows where all the bodies are buried for all these megastars. And I'm sure he's thinking, if I'm going down, I am not going down alone. I am sure he's thinking that. And so this could get very, very interesting in terms of stuff we learn. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to look back on now. Videos of other celebrities talking about this stuff that now it is eyebrow raising. His relationship with Meek Mill. There was a video floating around Twitter the other day of Diddy talking to Travis Scott and saying something kind of sus. and Travis Scott reacting over the top. And now you look at this with fresh eyes and you're like, God damn, what were you guys doing? What were you into? And then how much did other people know? How much did they know that that a lot of crimes were being committed and some of these sex acts were coerced and forced? Did they know that? Did they know that he had date rape drugs that he would use? Did they know about the wanton violence that he was capable of? Remember, he also punched Cassie at some dinner event with other people around. If you're one of the other people sitting at that table, you know, you're sort of an accessory to it, right? And so a lot of people are probably shaking in their boots and shitting themselves right now because he's got a lot of dirt on a lot of people, and I don't think he's going to want to go down alone. And then the other question is he the top of this organization, right? Or is there somebody above him that they're aiming for? Are they trying to get him to flip on the person above him if there is somebody above him, right? A lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff. But in terms of the court of public opinion, he is donezo. It's a wrap on Diddy. He's been a megastar for decades, but he is absolutely cooked at this point. Ain't no coming back from this. There's no way you're coming back from this. The Jeffrey Epstein of the music industry is how he's going to be known. And I certainly got my eye on this closely moving forward. But, you know, the thing that made it so that he really didn't have an out in the court of public opinion is the second that those tapes dropped on Cassie, where he's committing a violent assault against what's supposed to be his girlfriend. He initially denied it, total lie, eventually came out, just blows up all of your credibility. And now you need Superman of a lawyer to get your ass off the charges that you have now. And I don't think it's going to happen. All right, guys, that's the show. You all know the drill. Love you very much. Everybody do me a big favor. Subscribe to the channel. That helps out big time. Costs you absolutely nothing. Deeply appreciate it. As I always point out, remember, not all of us are Tim Pool or Benny Johnson or Dave Rubin. I'm not taking shady billionaire money or Russian government money. You guys fund this show through Patreon, and we have some of the default ads on YouTube that run. That's how we do it. And I think that's the best way to do it. So hook a brother up if you can, $5 a month, whatever it is. Subscribe, trying to get to 10 million subs. And that's all I got for you today. I will see everybody back here, same time, same place tomorrow. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.